now how do we take off? Very simply, just hold down the spacebar on the keyboard like so. And that's it. The ship just flies straight up. That's it, simple as that. Just hold the spacebar. Then what I suggest is moving away from any objects that you might be able to hit, like portholders are here, for example, and then raise your landing gear with the N key, and your speed will increase. That's it, simple as that. I hope it's helped you guys, and if it has, please hit subscribe or like the video.
System check.
Hello everyone, I'm Law of the West, and in this video I'm going to be taking a look at the Freelancer Max, which is a medium freight carrying variant of the Freelancer series. I'm going to be taking a look at the physical differences that exist between it and the other Freelancers. I'll also be going over the Max's performance, weapons loadouts, and checking out whether or not it can carry any vehicles, and if so, which ones and how many of each. The Max boasts an impressive cargo carrying capacity of 122 SCUs, which is very good for a ship of its size. And being a freelancer,
yes. But I was looking how to fly. Flight tutorial, I need this one.
Hey guys, it's...
Yes, I will.
MGN Ready Go here, and I thought I'd give you the basics on how to fly, what you need to know from the very ground up. So basically, you walk on out of Port Olisar, and you'll see your ship on one of these pads. You'll typically get one of these markers that you'll be able to walk to it. And yeah, once you're here, what you want to do is you want to be able to get in. And on the Mustang, you're going to get in on the bottom. That's a little fast ship. That's a starter ship. On the Aurora, you're going to get in the side. And I find in most single-seater ships, you're going to get in on the side, somewhere near the cockpit, or just, you'll see a side button here. What you want to do is you want to look around for this, you want to look around until you get this use icon. This will change up a little bit later on, so if you're watching this later, it's going to be a little different. You want to look for something like this, and you want to push that, and it'll open up a little bit of a ladder for you. Now, be aware that if you get that use icon somewhere else, you are probably opening up, you know, a repair panel or something like that, like you can on the Mustang. You know, just avoid that and look for the place where you can get in the ship itself. Alright, now that we're in the ship itself, I'm going to teach you the basics of taking off. What you want to do is just basically tap gently the spacebar, right? You just want to go gently up, give it a full second, alright? Full 2 seconds at start. There we go. And now you'll see on the HUD that we're quite a bit above the pad. Now the HUD is a little glitchy in this version, but just move yourself a little bit above the pad so that you're not bumping into anything if in case you roll. And the first thing you might want to do is just turn around a bit in your ship, just so you get a feel with your mouse, you know, how you're moving around. So you just move around a bit. Once you got a feel of that, I would suggest one thing: don't point anywhere, don't roll at all to start. Just stay level for now. So what you want to do is just push W. I'm going to push away toward the sun, just so that we have a direction to go together. I'm joined by a bunch of friends, by the way. I should have mentioned that. But we're just going to head toward the sun. I'm just going to push and hold W. And by holding W, I'm going to my max speed in this mode. So there are a whole bunch of modes, and in this mode I can only go 50, and you're going to go very slow, but it's a very good mode to be around a port like Port All-Star, and you're flying around a little bit, and just get a feel of things, get a feel of your mouse, get a feel of going left and right. So you're strafing left and right with A, like I am right now. I'm just strafing left, and I can strafe right with D. W is increased thrust, and S is decreased thrust. So that's really, really simple. You can't go backwards with this. You can only...
Yes, but how to roll?
We'll get into other stuff a little later on. But so that's what you need to know as the very big.
Yes, I know that W is forward and S backwards. And the D and A is to right and left, but how you roll, I don't know. N is landing gears.
So you'll notice you're going quite slow, and what you want to do to start is you want to change modes. Alright guys, now we're going to talk about changing modes. And the first thing you need to do is you will need to retract your landing gear. I almost forgot this a moment ago, but on different ships you will or will not have landing gear. On this one you do, on a lot of them you do. On the Mustang you don't, so you don't need to worry about that if you're in that starter ship. But just push the N key and it'll retract the landing gear here. And once you've retracted the landing gear and you push the V key, it's going to allow you to speed up. I already pushed the V key, so I already sped up.
Husk vores juleskarpelodder, der kan give op til 50% rabat.
Skip
Vi
this.
ses i Superbrugsen og Kvickly.
And I'm just slowing it down for a second there because I just want to stay in this mode a second. So we're in SCM mode, and that allows you a lot faster travel, but like tons of maneuverability. You're going to be able to fly around very easily in this. You're very maneuverable. Everything is just very flexible in this mode. It's a great mode for dogfighting. But again, if you want to get somewhere quickly, this is not the mode to be in. Just get a feel for this mode, and you're mostly going to be using this mode unless you're landing. You're going to go back into precision mode. I'll get into that in just a moment. But all right, so we're in this mode, and let's go ahead and speed up. I'm going to push the V key again when I have my thrust to full. So I've already pushed and held W until my thrust is full. And I'm going to push the V key again. It's going to allow me to go to max cruise, and max cruise is much faster. We're going a lot faster now, but the maneuverability, as you can see here, is a lot less. My cursor is all the way to the left, it's all the way to the right, but we're getting very little movement here, but we're going very fast. It's a great way to get somewhere quickly. All right, now that we've explained that, just want to say that you can go back to that early mode, that very first mode. There are three modes: precision mode, SCM, and cruise mode. And if you want to get back to precision mode, what you need to do is go down to 0 thrust and push the V key, and you'll slow all the way down to a precision mode, and this is great for landing. Now, I don't need to land at the moment, but I'm just going to head over this way and show you that, you know, this is essential. I'm going to go ahead and speed up and push the V key, so now I'm in SCM. 3 modes, you know, it's like slow, medium, fast, you could think of it that way, each with different sensitivity and maneuverability. So I'm just going to go fly back a little bit this way, and once I'm here, I'm just going to slow down all the way to precision mode so you can see what the use is. I'm slowing down now as I'm getting to the port. Slowing all the way down. I push V to get into SCM. Now I'm very maneuverable. And one more time, once I've slowed down a bit, it's going to put me into precision mode. All right. There we go. Okay. So now what you'll notice is that I'm maxing out at 50. This is literally max speed, and we're back into precision mode. So just cycle through those modes a little bit, and remember that it decides what you want to do based on how fast you're going. Essentially, we'll say it that way, what your thrust is. So if you're in max thrust, it'll move you all the way up to cruise mode. If you're on 0 thrust, it'll move you down. As you push the V key, you can go all the way back down to precision, and that'll help you fly around. So the one more thing we need to do really quick before we do landing is I'm just going to show you how to get somewhere. Obviously, you're not getting anywhere at this speed. You know, we can't even get near to this planet, no matter how fast you're cruising. This is going to take you ages. You're in space. It's a big place, right? Obviously. So let's head over to where is it? Let's head over to ICC probe. Let's just head over there real quick. I'm just going to, I'm doing that a little too fast. Okay, right, so we're going to head over to the ICC probe. The first thing you want to do is you want to push the B key. Once you push the B key, it'll show you all kinds of destinations you can go to, all right? Once you see these destinations, you can just hover over a destination, and then once you've hovered over and it's expanded like that, go ahead and push the F key. Remember, B key to pull up your warp destinations, and push the F key, and you'll go into quantum travel mode, and that'll allow you to go very fast here. Very helpful. All right, so I'll see you in a second. All right, rather than showing you that area over there, I'm just going to stay here, and I'm joined by my friend here.
Yes,
and really
to
quick,
press
I just wanted
the
to
F
say,
key.
guys, if you have a little bit of trouble with the flying, I did at the start very much. So what you want to do is just limit your controls. I taught you at the start that spacebar lifts you up. Now control will bring you down, but avoiding using those as much as possible and avoiding using what you don't need to use actually really helps you simplify everything. So my suggestion is if you're having trouble, if you're hitting all the asteroids like I was, you can go back and see my hilarious video of me actually trying to race with one of these as a noob, and it was terrible. So if you have that trouble, just limit yourself to WASD and the mouse, and don't roll, and don't use your control and space, and that'll help you a ton be a better flyer. Anyway, I'm going to show you guys really quickly how to follow somebody, and what you need to do first and foremost is you need to hit the R key. Now the R key allows you to target someone, so I'm going to target the Packet here, who's joined me. Thank you for joining us here, Packet. Say hello. Hello. And he spins for us. There we go. So now I have him targeted, and you can see him at the top right. Now, you might get a little confused here because he's flying essentially the same ship, and therefore they look the same. So
Hej unger.
I still don't know how to roll.
Hvis I skal nå at få billetter til teater. Ja.
So what you see on the top left is me, and what you see on the top right is him. Normally they won't look identical because, you know, normally it'll be somebody else. But let's go ahead and follow you. Go ahead and take off if you want there, the Packet. Okay, so I have him targeted with the R key. I pushed the R key once, I've targeted him. Now if I want to go his speed, I'm just going to push the F key. And now it doesn't, you know, control me, but what it does is it gives me the exact same speed as the Packet. So now I'm following him exactly at his speed. So if he speeds up, I speed up. This is such a useful thing if you want to work as a team. And I believe it also works in combat, isn't that right, the Packet? Yep. So very useful if you want to stay on the back of somebody too. So let's go ahead and test this out, and we are going to do, we're going to just go through here really quickly here. I'm just going to follow him where he's headed. I'm going to do a quick landing for you guys, so you guys know the basics of that. But what we want to do, if you want to land, now there's two methods of landing in Star Citizen 2.5. It's a little bit different from what it was earlier. You can auto land in any of these areas that are blue, and you can avoid, or you can't in any of the areas that are red. To bring up this menu, you need to push the N key, and because that's what brings up your landing gear, or brings down your landing gear, sorry, and that'll bring that stuff in the HUD, you know, bring up that stuff in the HUD. It lets the game know that you want to land. So we're doing that now, and all you need to do is, you know, go above here and just push and hold the N key, and it'll do the landing for you. So let's go ahead and just do a quick auto land. This might not be that easy for you the first time. And remember, you want to slow down and push V if you're still in cruise mode, so that you go back into precision mode. Precision mode will help you you know, land easy. Now, I suggest if you're getting confused, just stick to the first part, and that'll help you a ton. Now, what I've done is I've just pushed and held the N key, and that's allowed me to land very simply and easily here. But if you don't want to, there's some areas where you cannot land manually, so I'm just going to show you how to land without landing manually. And I'm just going to show you my way of doing it. So let's just take off by pushing the space key. I'm going to go ahead and point in this direction. I'm just going to leave some so that it's a little bit of a challenge. So what you want to do is just pick a landing spot, any of these. Let's pick one of the red zones that you can't or auto land in. And what I like to do personally, and you might not like this, it's different for every person, is I like to push F4, give myself a third-person view. And once I've pushed F4, I like to position myself just above the landing space here, like this. Make sure, again, you have your landing gear out, pushing the N key if you have landing gear. On some ships, you don't. So we're just going to go down. I'm going to land it properly. And there we go. And that's all it takes, guys. And guys, I thought I'd really quickly add that if you want to be a part of a fun and friendly community that loves to play Star Citizen, just casual friends, head over to the link down in the description below, and you can join us. We're just building a really fun
Yes, but he did not tell how to press, how to go down. They are forgetting to tell, he did not tell how to go down. Yes, but I need the bathroom. We can look a little bit more mining.
Low. I really need to read up on the lore of this system. I mean, there seems to be a lot of ugliness going on this rock over here. Why would it be so much hotter than the planet that it orbits? Unless it's tidally locked to the sun, which really would make little sense, right? Our moon is tidally locked to the Earth, so we always see the same side of it, but it still rotates, so it gets somewhat even heating across the whole satellite. I don't know what to call it. All right, so the next step is to get back home. And I want to talk about getting back home right now because it's going to be very important. When you're done mining, without refineries being placed in orbits around different planets, moons, or in Lagrange points, you really have to go and find a place to sell your wares. And I don't know if the mining facilities on the planets allow that. I looked for one of the terminals that allow you to sell your refined items, and I was unable to find them. What I did find is that the only place I'm able to sell it currently, and I'm hoping that you all will help me, is in Lorville, and it's at the administration building. And that means flying back to Hurston, entering the atmosphere, landing the ship, getting out of your ship, walking through the spaceport, getting on the train, and getting back to Levston. Would that be Levston Station? I really am confused as to what that is. But back to the habitat area. And then walking over to the admin building. Now, because I don't want to make this a really long video, we're just going to fast forward through those things right now. It's now 10 minutes later, and we officially have wheels down in Lorville's TISA spaceport. Now that was a long time. When you think about it, 10 minutes, this whole run so far has taken me about an hour. And we even haven't made it back to where we can sell our wares. Here we are at a spaceport, and there's no place to purchase, sell. It's amazing. I mean, I'm baffled by that. Now I know that they're trying to make it more realistic, that you'll have a business district and you'll have a working district and you'll have a housing district and you'll have a spaceport district. But most ports, most airports are surrounded, most train stations are surrounded by delivery carriers, right? By carriers, by people that move product from A to B. If you look at FedEx, they build huge centers right next to an airport. And why wouldn't that be here? Why wouldn't it be something that was connected close by? So maybe I'm complaining too much because it really isn't too long to get from where we are now to where we've got to be. And now I am going to make you suffer the pain of having finally landed, finally got back to where you need to be, and having to get to where you could sell your wares inside of Lorville. And again, if you know something I don't know, tell me now. So I am kind of impressed and a little bit confused as to where to go right now, but I am kind of impressed with it, regardless of the few bad comments that I've made. I'm pointing out things that are going to be fixed in the future, not things that are really bad right now. I think that when we're alpha testing a game, we really need to be a little bit open-minded and help the developers correct the issues that they can correct at the time that the game is being developed. The issues that we're seeing right now are probably not going to be fixed until they nail down the rest of object container streaming and the network fixes. Those are the most important elements to making Star Citizen a viable released product. And those will come over time. As soon as all the networking issues, as soon as object container streaming is both server and client side, as soon as the bind culling and all the other words and technology vocabulary that they use is fixed, the game should go into a much quicker development cycle. At this point, we're waiting on the pieces that make the game run efficiently on our system. And as soon as the working elements are corrected, then they could start working on things like bringing us more and more and more content with each patch and fixing our graphics issues. When I say graphics issues, I'm talking about merging people, all sorts of wonderful things that happen when you're looking in different blocks and seeing through the world. All those
Yes, I
things.
I need a little bit more
What was I
cooler.
doing here? I was looking at some graphic issues. There was a lot of shimmering, and I kept on seeing graphic anomalies pop up in different places. At this point, I was going to talk about 3.4 and how that business district was going to be unlocked, which will be that Levston station over there, going over to the business district. Really can't wait for that. And there's the Metro Center. That's where we're going back to. All right, at some point in the very near future, we should have a train here. And there it is. Let's get on this train and find our way back. This one's going to go a little bit over 20 minutes today, folks. I am so sorry. But the main reason is that I want you to get an idea of the time it takes to do these different things. I was trying to wake that guy up. You're going to see him run off the train in just a bit, because I frequently get stuck on the train. There he goes. And then wind up going back and forth because I start doing something. A lot of times I'm trying to work on schoolwork while I'm riding the train. And sometimes I get stuck on an elevator going up and down.
Yes, I have felt sick like 2 weeks. This is why I did this coughing. Yes, but I was to look how to fly, how to request the landing permission. We saw that the N key, how to land in Laurel.
Når du har ondt i halsen, prøv Strepsaps nye sprayløsning med op til 6 timers smertelindring. Det aktive stof, fluobuprofen, begynder at virke
No insurance, no money, just lost my ship. What to do?
op til 6 timer.
Yes, we have to watch that.
Find den nye Strepsap på dit apotek.
Hi everyone, I'm Law of the West, and in this video...
Yes, I have to save and give a like. But go and watch this videos yourself. I have to watch a little bit of this.
I'm going to be showing you how to successfully land at the new Lorville site on Hurston in the 3.3.5 update. Wow, that just does not roll off the tongue. I gotta get used to saying that. Trying to land there can be a bit disorientating at first. And there's a lot more rules to it than there are for a traditional site like Alisar, Levski, or Grimhex. Mainly, this is due to the no-fly zone that surrounds it. While you're approaching, once you reach a certain distance away, the surface area will flash red, showing off where the boundaries of the no-fly zone are located. It only does this once on approach, so make sure to pay attention. It's good to keep an eye on the main Hurston building, because if you dip below that while positioned over one of those red zones, you're only going to have a couple of seconds to turn around and get out of there before you explode. It's pretty unforgiving, and once you're inside the no-fly zone, it's usually already too late to turn around, so be careful and approach it slowly, especially if you're unsure as to where it begins and ends. You have one of two options when attempting to land. The first is to enter through the Tessa spaceport entrance. The other is to land outside the city limits and enter through one of the gates. Now, I'm going to start with the gates. And surrounding the perimeter of Lorville are a series of 6 gates that are semi-evenly spread out along it. Each gate is identified by a bright blue light. And my current favorite gate to enter from is Gate 4, which is located directly opposite of the Hurston building. The idea is to get as close to the gates as the no-fly zone will permit, land, and walk it the rest of the way in. Try to stay as far away from any of the structures as you can while you're approaching. Here's a